Tuvalu is very isolated. Therefore, it is extremely important for us to be here to tell our story. And it is important that we continue to tell our story to the world because of the unique situation that Tuvalu is in, particularly in regards to facing the challenges of climate change and other sustainable development challenges. So it is critically important that I am here to speak and share the concerns of my people in Tuvalu. I strongly believe that unless we address the issues of climate change, there is hardly any hope for us to move forward on any other fronts of economic development, economic stability, economic growth. These will be severely compromised unless we address the issue of climate change. We have to be honest with ourselves. We cannot continue to deny the fact that climate change is really an existential threat to the survival and livelihood of people, particularly those people who are living on small island developing states like Tuvalu, and of course more seriously on atoll nations that are completely flat, Tuvalu, Marshall Islands, Kiribati, and the Maldives. These are hardly any higher than 3 meters above sea level. So it is extremely important that we address the issue of climate change. To me personally as a leader, I don't see any point of talking about economic growth and economic prosperity, development. What are these if we didn't address the issues of climate change and sea level rise, through which the lives of my people will be severely compromised? That is my main conviction. I think the forum here at Crans-Montana avails for the exchange of views, a wealth of views from various sectors of the world, particularly political leadership, business leadership, but also allows for the exchange of views from the financial institutions. These are ingredients that are so important, critically important for countries like my own Tuvalu. So yes, it is far away from my home in Tuvalu, but these are the opportunities that are very, very important to amplify and share our concerns with the world at large. We cannot be islands by ourselves. We have to be part of the whole equation of the world, because if we didn't do that, we will be left out in the whole formulation of public policies, of global policies, that would eventually lead to formal intergovernmental processes in the United Nations, in the European Union. And this is why it is extremely important that our voice is amplified here in forums like at the Crans-Montana. I appreciate the invitation for me and my officials to be here. I think we need to really solid outcomes to suggest ways forward, and particularly at this stage, given the many challenges we are facing, and in humanity, we must continue to build on the common trust and respect for humanity. We are but on one global canoe, and in order to keep that canoe afloat and buoyant to save the people, we have to build trust of mankind, each individual to look after each other. Unless we do that, we will go on our way and we'll start to sink the canoe. And if the canoe sinks, what is the point of us working together? And like we know, some of the leadership are already denying, already jumping ship. They want to leave multilateralism and to pursue own unilateral policies of their own. This is very dangerous for the world. And of course, we come with very little added weight to the equation. Tuvalu is only a small, insignificant island country. But we believe we have something to offer, to give some leadership to the world, to stick together for the sake of humanity. I think that is a rather unfortunate deficit that we haven't really seen Crans-Montana push the consensus of seats rather strongly. But in that said, I think there is now realization, and I thank the leadership, the Ambassador Sean Paul and the coordinators for inviting the Sikhs' voice and to allow them to speak and to allow them to share their concerns. There is also the other importance of leverage this voice to other processes that could eventually lead to formal discussion of the small island developing states' concerns, whether in the United Nations, whether in other EU. But we must continue to amplify our voice if we were given this opportunity. So I thank the Crans Montana for giving me this opportunity. But I have strong views that I suggest that we come out of here. The immediate and urgent response of the world to reducing greenhouse gas emissions so that we keep to our target in Paris, 1.5 degrees Celsius increase in temperature. We are already seeing the heat waves everywhere. Here in Europe, everywhere in Americas, people are dying and flooding and also water scarcity. All these things are caused by global warming, by climate change. And there is a serious signal on the wall already. We have to do this because 5 years' time from now, it'll be more serious. And we will see island countries like Tuvalu probably get eroded into the sea. So this, we cannot allow humanity to fail in this task. Because if you allow one country like Tuvalu to be submerged or even be forced to relocate in another foreign country, this is a complete failure of humanity. It's a shameful situation. We should not be talking about helping, keeping mankind in peace and development, because we should be shameful of ourselves for allowing those people to get drowned.